Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bandwagon Sports. I am your host, Cade Navarro, and this is a Bandwagon Thursday show. Thank y'all for tuning in, Bandwagoners. We're going to have a short week today. We had a long 2-hour stream yesterday. Today, we're going to have just a normal stream, going over some of the highlights that happened last night, and then going over some of the stuff that's going to happen this weekend because we will not be here tomorrow. We will be heading to the Penn State Ole Miss game tomorrow. So we will not have a show tomorrow or Monday. After that, 2024, we're going to be hitting it every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So, Bandwagoners, make sure to tune in. Drop a like, comment where you're from. You know what to do. But all right, everybody. Let's go ahead and hop right into the action. We've got a good one today. We had some amazing bowl games last night. We had some classics. We have Thursday night football tonight. We have our NFL action this weekend. We have the college football playoff on Monday. We have so much going on. So, thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to hop right into it. We have some awesome bowl games last night with the Duke's Mayo Bowl. We got to see the Mayo Bath. We got to see it all. We got to see some gunslingers. We get to see old Mike Gundy. We get to see USC's quarterback, not Caleb Williams, but old Miller Moss. But last night, USC takes down number 15 Louisville in the DirecTV Holiday Bowl. 42-28, a monster of a game for backup quarterback Miller Moss. 372 yards through the air, 6 touchdowns, only 1 interception. The dude had a monster of a game. You got a visual of him right here. People looking at him like, is that Caleb Williams? Who is that? It's Miller Moss. It's Miller time, baby. It's Miller time. So, Miller Moss matches Caleb Williams' USC career high of 6 touchdowns in his first game in. So, what a stud of a man right here. 23 for 33, 372 passing yards, 6 touchdowns. I'd say that's a pretty good performance, and I'd say this guy's the guy moving forward. If they can get their defense down, USC, they could be a problem. But USC doing the eggnog bath. I didn't even know this was a thing. But hey, DirecTV Holiday Bowl eggnog bath. Lincoln Riley getting just covered in the eggnog. I would much rather prefer some eggnog poured all over me than the Duke Mayo. We're going to touch on that here in a second. We had Texas A&M taking on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, the runner-up in the Big 12, playing in the Big 12 championship against our Texas Longhorns. And then Texas A&M, Texas's little brother. Them just having a rough season, ending at 7-6. I guess 7-5 coming into it. But they have a lot of people transferring out. They got a new head coach coming in, and then they had a ton of players not playing in this. And hey, them doing pretty solid. I think they had their 3rd string quarterback in, and he got hurt like the first or second drive. And then we saw I guess the 4th string quarterback come in. I think his name was like Reed or something. But Ollie Gordon II, 27 carries, 118 yards and a touchdown. Dude absolutely went off. Bowman, he got 402 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Some cool stuff right there. But West Virginia. Oklahoma State. We have Mike Gundy. This is his 18th in a row season, having a winning record in his 18th in a row. 18th consecutive bowl game. So Mike Gundy got the big old mullet. Honestly, I could probably use mullet with this dirty old stash right here. But Mike Gundy in the mullet, getting it done, winning the TaxAct Texas Bowl. Good stuff there. We saw his son, I think in his last ever game, scoring a touchdown, 10-yard rushing touchdown. So Gunner Gundy. We got old Mike Gundy for the Pokes. And then his son, old Gunner Gundy. So, cool stuff there. Seeing the father-son duo, especially in his last game, getting his son into the end zone. That's what dreams are made of right there. That's something you want to see. Virginia Tech taking down Tulane. Tulane got nothing on the Pokes. Not the Pokes. Whatever the fuck they are. But Virginia Tech, a 7-5 team coming into this, taking down an 11-2 Tulane team in the Military Bowl, presented by Bowling. GoBowling.com. So, go bowling. Let's see what we can do here. So, GoBowling.com. Getting there, little shout out. It was absolutely pouring in this matchup. The rain was just coming down. It was just a flowing. So this was a very heavy running game. Yeah, as we see here, we have Virginia Tech's running back with 20 carries, 176 yards and a touchdown. I remember just looking up and there was multiple just 40-yard rushes, just him just killing it down. So a lot of turnovers, a lot of fumbling and a tumbling, a lot of running, not very many passes. Hard to catch that ball when it's all wet and slippery. But then our last game of the action, we had old North Carolina and West Virginia in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. West Virginia with their new head coach having their first, I think, winning season since 2016. Could be completely wrong on that, but first winning season with a bowl game championship. So good stuff there. We got, what was his name? Garrett Green having a monster of a game. 228 passing yards, 1 touchdown through the air. And then 9 carries, 64 yards on the ground. Dude was just tearing it up. Wow, one of his receivers, 3 receptions for 91 yards and a touchdown. But West Virginia take down old Mac Brown in the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's good stuff there. And see a little championship right here. This is old Garrett Green slinging it. His only touchdown of the night. Oh, first play of the game. First play of the game was a touchdown. Did we get a return? Did we get a punt return right here? Wow. Okay. Well, we didn't know about this, but that is awesome. That is awesome. So, West Virginia Mountaineers getting it done. And then we saw the head coach afterwards getting his little Mayo bath. And them donating $10,000 to food banks in West Virginia, local food banks. So that was cool. But old coach just getting sloshed with the mayo. That would absolutely kill me. That would be the worst thing in the world for me. But hey, I would take the eggnog. Oh, what old Lincoln Riley got over the Duke's mayo getting poured over me. That is an absolute no-go for me. Well, let's see here. So those are our games. We have a bunch of games coming up. Now we're starting to get into some really good games. So let's kind of touch on those a little bit. We got number 22 Clemson taking on Kentucky in the Tax Slayers Gator Bowl. That will be tomorrow. Let's see what we got today. Should have some games on today. So yeah, we got SMU Boston College tonight. SMU an 11-2 record, awesome. So them doing some renovations to their stadium, and they're about to join the ACC. So SMU, hopefully get a win right here. SMU big favorites, -11. Well, in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. And then we got Rutgers, Miami. Miami having a not very good season, but having a good recruiting class. So who knows? They could be pretty solid this next year. So they're taking on Rutgers down. Wow, they are underdogs versus the old Rutgers. -2 in the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Okay. So we got Big 12 team coming up over here. We got Kansas State facing NC State. So 2 state schools in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Awesome. Kansas State with a -2 point favorite. Will Howard, wow, slanging it this year. Then we got Arizona taking on old Oklahoma. So we got what looks like a decent game here. 9-3 team versus a 10-2 team. But we got Oklahoma quarterback Dylan Gabriel not going to play in this because we talked about it earlier. He is in the transfer portal and he is committed and signed to the Oregon Ducks. So we got Dylan Gabriel out of there. And then we just touched on yesterday, Arizona quarterback also in the transfer portal. So both of these quarterbacks out for this game. So we'll see what we have in store. It's on paper it should be a good game, but who really knows? Arizona, wow, actually favored -2.5. That's probably because Dylan Gabriel's out. Could be wrong. But those are our matchups tonight, and then let's get into that Friday action. So Friday, as we talked about, we had Clemson, Kentucky, and then we got Oregon State. DJ Youngavalogalele is transferring. He is in the transfer portal, so he will not be starting there. And then Riley Leonard is actually transferring to Notre Dame. I don't know. I guess Sam Hartman's going to play. I haven't heard anything about Sam Hartman. So without DJ, you got to think Notre Dame takes this one. But that's actually a pretty solid bowl game. So we're starting to do some good ones. Then we got old Memphis. Oh yeah. So let's see. Notre Dame, Oregon State. That is the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Okay, Tony the Tiger. I see you with Frosted Flakes. That's the 2:30 action. We got Memphis versus Iowa State. Let's see. In the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, we got Iowa State, another Big 12 team, favored heavily in this one, -10.5. And then we got the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. We got old Missouri, who had a solid season, going 10-2, number 9 seed. I think having one loss to Georgia. I don't know who the other one was, but them having a pretty solid season, looking like a good team. But hey, number 9, they could be in the college football playoffs next year. Taking on old Ohio State, though. Ohio State with one loss Their only loss to rivals Michigan, and that kicking them out. So they went 11-0 this season and then ended it on a loss. So Ohio State only a 3.5 point favorite in this one. We do not have Kyle McCord in this one. Kyle McCord is transferring to Syracuse. So who will we have at quarterback? I don't know. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is playing in this one though. I don't know if he is declared for the draft yet or not. So hey, we could be seeing him back this next year, or he could be going to the draft. Probably the draft, but at least he's playing. Most people are opting out of these bowl games, but good to see him playing. You always love to see that. And then we got Ole Miss, Penn State. So I will be at this game in Atlanta for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Penn State minus 4.5 favorites. I will be cheering on the old Ole Miss Land Sharks with old Jackson Dart, with old Quintavious Judkins. I will just be land sharking it up the entire time. But Ole Miss having a stellar season as well, going 10-2, only losing to Alabama and Georgia. Penn State only losing to Michigan and I'm sure Ohio State. But Penn State, the favorite in this one, should be a high-powered offense. Jackson Dart will be there. Judkins should be there. Penn State, I don't know who they have at their quarterback, but this should be a good one to end the year. These are also teams that could potentially be in the college football playoff this next year with their record this year. I'm not saying next year. But. And then we got Auburn, Maryland. Auburn, Maryland. Interesting game here. SEC team, though. Auburn favored minus 6.5 in the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl. Please don't tell me that's what I think it means. But interesting. I'd hate to be in that bowl game. But you got Tule Tagovailoa, Tua's brother, playing in this one. Having an incredible season. Wow, 3,377 passing yards through the air, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Pretty solid year, I would say. But yeah, not looking too forward to that one. Then we got Georgia, Florida State. So these teams would also be in the college football playoff this year if it was 12 teams. But we got number 6 Georgia. Them going 12-0 all year and losing their only game to Alabama and then getting kicked out of the top 4 because they do not have a conference championship. So Alabama gonna be here looking to prove something. I think we got, I don't know if Brock Bowers declared to the draft or not. I don't know if he is going to the draft, but we will have Carson Beck, as we touched on that. He will be coming back for another season, so he wants to finish this season out strong. He wants to shut these Florida State little Seminoles up. But wow, the line is minus 19. So Florida State, a bunch of people opting out not to play, a bunch of people transferring out of Florida State. We got the lawsuits that are happening. The Attorney General wanting to sue the college football playoff. We got Florida State wanting to sue the ACC with the withdrawal fee. We have Florida State's quarterback Tate Rodemaker getting out of there. He is transferring out. So we have Brock Glenn, third string quarterback, playing in this one. So should be an absolute blowout with all two-time defending national champions Georgia Bulldogs taking on Florida State, wanting to stop them from getting their apparent national championship with this win, going 14-0. But definitely rooting on the Dogs. Take this one down. Then we got old Toledo, Wyoming. Interesting game here. Wyoming minus 3.5 point favorites, taking down Tulane. Yep, that is the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl. Wow. So I forgot Barstool Sports now has a bowl, so that is awesome. So you'll see old Dave Portnoy and the whole Bandwagon Sports crew there. So that'll be a cool one. Let's see here. And then Monday, this is where it all goes down. So we got a few games in the morning. We got Wisconsin, LSU. LSU minus 10-point favorites. I don't know if Jaden Daniels will be in this one. I think he's declared for the draft. I think we would have covered that. Not too sure. I guess he's going to be here. Let's kind of see if they touch on this at all. Don't know. I mean, Wisconsin are heavy dogs in this one. So I'm guessing Jaden Daniels is playing in this one. Finish off that Heisman season. You would hope so. But wow, minus 10-point dogs. The Wisconsin Badgers are 7-5, taking on number 13, 9-3 LSU. LSU not a very good defense this year, but they have been electric on the offensive side. And then we got Old Liberty, number 23, 13-0, looking to win their national championship against the Oregon Ducks, 11-2. Their only two losses coming to the Washington Huskies, who are in the college football playoff. Oregon minus 17 points spread. Wow. Okay. So Oregon obviously expected to absolutely destroy Liberty and give them what they've been asking for. When Liberty saw they got this game in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, they were ecstatic. They were so happy. So we'll see. We'll see if they're still happy after this one. We'll see if they're still just as ecstatic. But we got Iowa, Tennessee. We got number 17, Iowa. Them making it to the Big Ten championship game and taking on Michigan and absolutely getting blown out. Taking on Tennessee. Joe Milton, I think it's Joe Milton. Joe Milton III. He will be declaring for the draft, so he will not be in this game for Tennessee. Tennessee is a -6 favorite, but with Joe Milton out, will that line change? Maybe. Probably not. Iowa can't score the ball. Good defense, but they cannot score the ball. So, Cheez-Its, Citrus Bowl, interesting one there. But we have the main event of the evening. So, Monday, New Year's Day, we will have the college football semifinal games. We have Alabama taking on Michigan and Texas taking on Washington. So, we are going to hop into a trailer before we start going over these matchups. We're going to hop into a little trailer. Let's do the shyster. Okay, let's do this. All right, so we're gonna get all right, here we go, folks. So we have number 1 Michigan taking on number 4 Alabama, and we have number 3 Texas taking on number 2 Washington taking on number 3 Texas. So these are our matchups. We have a little hype trailer going on right here. This will get us hopefully amped up for this college football playoff. So let's do it.
playoffs coming up New Year's Day. Washington versus Texas. It is the Sugar Bowl from the Superdome.
But man, I tell you, watching Michigan play Alabama in the Rose Bowl, that's going to be incredible. This is as good of a playoff as we've ever had. This is going to be phenomenal.
All right, it all comes down to this.
Alabama's, in a lot of ways, the most talented team in the country. This is the best passing game in the country. The speed that Texas puts on the field is incredible. They're better than you at the line of scrimmage. Their quarterback is excellent. They are built to eventually win.
Oh my goodness, Travion Henderson gets whacked.
Launching for the end zone, forget being patient, Odunze! And Washington takes the lead. Lewis from the pocket, launching downfield. Mitchell, touchdown Texas!
Milrow scans the field to the end zone, and it's caught. Jermaine Burton, touchdown Alabama. Firing, near corner, it's caught! Touchdown Alabama! Isaiah Bond!
Dancing. Oh, breaks a tackle to the end zone. Breaks the great touchdown, Wolverine.
Launches the end zone, yes! Penix creates some magic.
Here's some trickery, it's a flea flicker, and it works to perfection. Jatavion Sanders wide open for the touchdown.
If that doesn't get you hyped, then I don't know what does. Woo! If you don't got chills, if you were not ready for New Year's Day, if you were not ready for this college football semifinals, then I don't know. You should not be watching this show. Because here at Bandwagon Sports, we are ready. Woo! Ooh, I got chills, baby. I got chills. Oh. I'm pumped. All right. So we got number 4, Alabama. Number 1, Michigan. Number 3, Texas. Number 2, Washington. All taking each other on. Woo! Man, this is going to be an electric one. All of 4 of these teams doubted why they should be in here. Number 4, Bama, having to beat Auburn in the last few seconds of the Iron Bowl to take them down and advance to the SEC championship. If they go into the SEC championship with 2 losses, or hey, they drop the game to Auburn, they might not make it to the SEC championship. So Alabama pulling off a miracle and then coming into the SEC championship and taking down the number 1 team in the nation, the Georgia Bulldogs. What an electric story. And then we have Michigan. They went undefeated all year, but they have had allegations against them. They had Jim Harbaugh out for multiple games. I think we will see Jim Harbaugh back in this. I think it was just for the regular season that he was out. So we saw him in the Big Ten championship game. But with all these scandals, there were talks. Should Michigan even be in the top 4? Should they even allow them? With all these cheating scandals, apparently they had scouts at all these top teams looking at sign stealing. They had someone hired to sign steal. Apparently, they denied. They did not know this was going on, but they have allegations against them. And then you have number 3, Texas. There was talks that Florida State should be over Texas in this one. You had Aaron Rodgers giving us the horns down, telling us that Florida State should have been in over Texas, not Alabama. Texas only having one loss to Oklahoma, them being doubted all year. Is Texas really back? Them winning out the rest of their season, coming into this, getting that number 3 spot. Florida State getting yanked out. Same with Alabama. And some thought, hey, Texas should be out of here because you have to keep an SEC team in here. So even with Texas's win over Bama, you would kick out Texas, put Florida State in, put Alabama in, which would have been insanely controversial. But they put in the old University of Texas in the last time that they are having a 4-team college football playoff. And then you have the Washington Huskies, undefeated all year, had a win over Oregon, but they were still looking like Oregon's little brother. They were still looking like it. They had Oregon ranked above them. They had been outside of the top 4 the majority of the year until the very end. They were just looked down upon. And then they were even dogs in the last ever Pac-12 championship against, again, Oregon. And what did they do? They shut up the haters. And they took down the Oregon Ducks. Bo Nix. They took them down. So, a lot riding on these 4 teams right here in the last ever 4-team college football playoff. Next year, we will see a 12-team. We will be getting rid of the Pac-12 championship. Washington leaving the Pac-12. Everybody pretty much leaving the Pac-12. So there will not be a Pac-12 championship ever again in here. But SEC, Texas joining the SEC now. So now we have 2 potential SEC teams in here, and Washington going to the Big Ten. There's 2 potential Big Ten teams in here. So that will not be allowed in, I guess when it comes to the top 8, it could be allowed, but SEC championship will get an automatic spot with a bid, or with a bye. Big 12 will get an automatic spot with a bye. ACC will get an automatic spot with a bye, and Big 10 will get an automatic spot with a bye. So a lot changing, but we wouldn't see these 4 teams in here in the new college football playoff. But let's go over the matchups. We have Joe Milton coming back to Alabama this next year. I think is the early pick for Heisman this next year. Alabama looking hot. Their only loss to number 3 Texas right here. So good loss for them, and it was at home. Actually, I guess no loss is good, but they lost to one of the best teams. So they've been counted out, and they've been dogs all year, but they have made it. They took down the number 1 team in the nation, Georgia Bulldogs. They have all the momentum in the world to take down this Michigan team. Michigan with J.J. McCarthy. I mean, J.J. McCarthy, not a very good passing quarterback.
There's no room for error here.
But their run game is insane. So, who knows? Who knows who could get it done in this one? But we have Blake Corum. I think it's Blake, something like this. Blake Corum as their running back, having an insane season. 24 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards rushing. 200 more yards than Alabama's running back. But Joe Milton has been getting it done on the feet. I'm surprised he's not their lead rusher. But this is a stellar matchup right here. Two big programs. But they have Michigan predicted to win. But this is going to hop us into our segment of the week. We have our our Wagon of the Week picks. We're going to give our college football semifinal picks in this one, and we're going to give our NFL action in this one. So, we have Michigan -2 for the spread. Michigan coming into this one the favorites, with Alabama as the dogs. We are going to pick Alabama Crimson Tide in this one. Roll Tide, baby. I don't think I'd ever say that, but Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide, roll. So we got Alabama in this one. We have them taking down the Michigan Wolverines. This would be a crazy way to end the season if we have old Alabama, a one-loss team, going against old University of Texas as a one-loss team and having a rematch from their game earlier this season. So could be a cool matchup, but I'm taking Alabama Roll Tide roll in this one with the momentum, with the walk-off against Auburn in the Iron Bowl, and then destroying old Georgia Bulldogs for the ACC championship. So we're going to take old Alabama in this one. And then we got Michael Penix Jr. and Quinn Ewers throwing it down with the Longhorns taking on the Washington Huskies. Longhorns -4 for the spread. Longhorns the favorite in this one versus Washington the dogs in this one. So Jonathan Brooks out, so there we will have Baxter in at running back, but D. Johnson, Washington running back with 14 touchdowns, over 1,100 yards. And we have Xavier Worthy almost 1,000 yards receiving with 5 touchdowns, and then there Rome Odunze, stellar wide receiver with over 1,400 yards, 81 receptions, 13 touchdowns. I think more than Marvin Harrison. So Rome Odunze, an incredible player. We're matching up Michael Penix Jr. and Quinn Ewers. We got Michael Penix Jr. with over 1,000 more yards passing, with, let's see, quick math, 12 more touchdowns and 3 more interceptions. I think Quinn Ewers projected to be the number 2 or the number 3 spot for the Heisman race, early Heisman race. Should have Jonathan Brooks back this next year too. Worthy going to the draft. Odunze probably going to the draft. But this is a heavyweight battle. You know who I'm going to pick in this one. You know I am going with my Texas Longhorns. Obviously, we got it on right here. And we talked about it in our last matchup. But our Wagon of the Week pick, we are taking Texas -4 to win this game and face the Alabama Crimson Tide. And let the Alabama have a chance at sweet revenge. But guess what? It's not going to happen. Texas will slaughter Alabama. But that's for next week. That's for next week. We will touch on that next week but we're just going to focus on semifinals right here. But as a Texas fan, we want Bama. We want that 2009 national championship with Colt McCoy where he was out rematch. That was unfair. Y'all took out our quarterback. That was unfair. Y'all were playing dirty ball. We want to smash y'all in the face. So, Texas, the favorites in this one. Alabama, the dogs in their matchup. Who's going to make it to the college football playoff finals? Who knows? But those are wagon of the week picks for college football. Now we are going to hop into our NFL action. We have for tonight, we are going to give our wagon of the week pick for the Thursday night football matchup between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns looking hot, hotter than hot. They are flaming hot. They got coals on their feet. They are the hottest team in the NFL right now. Joe Flacco coming off a 360-yard passing game. Amari Cooper coming off of a 260-yard reception game. 2 touchdowns, breaking the Cleveland Browns single-game receiving yards record. So we have an electric offense for the Cleveland Browns with a stellar defense as well, taking on the New York Jets. New York Jets just coming off of a win as well. With Trevor Siemian in. Trevor Siemian in. Brees Hall having an absolute stud of a game. Just racking up points in fantasy. And then barely pulling it off against the Commanders. So barely pulling it off against a shit team. But Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco, as we talked about yesterday, apparently he was interested in playing for the New York Jets. And they said, nah, we got other ideas. We got Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian. We don't want you. So this could be a game where we see Joe Flacco go off 400 yards, 0 interceptions, 5 tutties. Joe Flacco's just going off in this game. I can already see it happening. This is a revenge game. He's like, you don't want me? Oh, yeah? Well, this team did want me. I am home. I'm going to take y'all down. So, Joe Flacco, expect him to have a monster of a game. Cleveland, 7.5-point favorites. Give me the Cleveland Browns to smash that. Just smash that. Smash it. They win this game by like 14, if not 21. Give me them. So, Aaron Rodgers back on the active roster, but not playing at all. So, give me Joe Flacco to advance to 11-5 for the Cleveland Browns. They're 7-1 at home too. So, and Jets are 2-4 on the road. So this will be a tough one for them. But moving on, we got our Week 17 schedule for the NFL. So we just went over our Thursday night football matchup. We will have one Saturday game. And this will be my Dallas Cowboys with old MVP Dak taking on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions coming off of a win against the Vikings. Dallas coming off a loss to Miami. Dallas coming off 2 back-to-back losses. So expect them to come out gunslinging, playing good ball. Dallas is the favorite. Dallas is at home. You know how they are at home. I expect this one to be a dog fight. A dog fight. But obviously, give me Dallas. Sure, we'll take it -6. Give me Dallas -6. I'd say we see the Lions, the Detroit Lions, looking like the old Lions in this one. They will not be looking like the brand new Lions. They will be looking like the old Lions. And then we will be seeing the Dallas Cowboys looking like Super Bowl contenders in this one, going to 11-5. Lions dropping to 11-5. But yes, I like this one for old Dak Prescott. And then we got our Sunday action. We have Miami taking on Baltimore, an electric game right here. We have C.J. Stroud coming back, facing the Texans. We have Trevor Lawrence limited at practice, taking on the old Carolina Panthers. Could Bryce Young get that one done? Maybe. There's a good chance. He gets that one done. We have Eagles taking on the Cardinals. Should be an easy one for the Eagles, getting back in that win column. Rams taking on the Giants. Rams looking electric. Look to see them play amazing. But we have a bunch to unfold. We have a bunch of new starting quarterbacks this week for probably at least 3 or 4 teams. So we're seeing a lot of changes. Let's see, Bengals taking on Chiefs. Hopefully Chiefs can get back in that win column after Bengals suffered that awful loss. And Kansas City suffering an awful loss at home. Kansas City back at home. And then our Sunday night football action, we have Green Bay taking on Minnesota Vikings. We'll see if old Nick Mullins can get it done with old, Ty Mitchell, something like that, in the backfield. We'll see. Old Jay Jettis. These are our little matchups. We're going to give our Wagon of the Week picks for this as well. We got Lions, Cowboys. We already took Dallas -6. We got Patriots, Bills, Buffalo -13. Give me old Bailey Zappi to cover +13. We got Falcons, Bears. Falcons just coming off a win over the Indianapolis Colts. Very interesting there. And then now they are the Dogs in this one. I think Taylor Heineke's in. Give me Bears. Give me old Justin Fields to cover this one. -3. Raiders, Colts. Indy the favorites now? Man, I guess it's just home field advantage. Raiders coming off a massive win. Colts need to win this. They have a chance at playoffs. Big playoff implication games. Give me old Gardner Minshew. Since we got the stash right now. Give me old Gardner Minshew to cover. -3.5. Rams, Giants. We got Rams favorited on the road taking on Tyrod Taylor, -5.5. Give me Rams to win this one. They need it for playoffs. Giants are already eliminated from playoffs. So give me old Matthew Stafford to win this one, advance to 9-7, and cover -5.5. Eagles, Cardinals. Give me -10.5. Give me Cardinals to cover +10.5. Eagles looking shaky against every team. So give me Kyler Murray. Give me Kyler Murray to cover that. That's a lot of points. Saints, Bucks. We got Bucks -2.5 point favorites at home. Give me Baker Mayfield. They're 8-7. They have a chance at playoffs. They're the number 1 seed. Actually, they pretty much have playoff sealed. But I think Bucks seal the deal and clinch playoffs with a win right here. So give me Bucks. Give me Baker Mayfield to clinch. 49ers coming off that loss, taking on the Commanders. Taking on old Jacoby Brissett. Commanders looking a little dangerous. 49ers coming off a loss. After that loss, give me 49ers to cover -12.5. They are going to be angry just taking it to them. Panthers, Jaguars. Jaguars favorited -6.5. Give me Panthers to cover that. Trevor Lawrence, sorry, man, you're going to throw 40 interceptions this game. So Panthers +6.5. Dolphins, Ravens. Baltimore only favored 3.5. Give me Baltimore to cover -3.5. This will be an electric one. But Ravens, they just look too dirty. Too dirty. Dolphins barely pulling it off against the Dallas Cowboys. Give me Ravens. Titans, Texans. We have C.J. Stroud probably coming back. Look to see electric, just high-flying, high-octane offense. Give me Houston Texans -5. Let's see, Steelers, Seahawks. Steelers coming off a monster win. Seahawks. Seahawks at home. Seattle favorited -3.5. Steelers. As we talked about yesterday, Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season. He has not had a losing season this year or ever in his career. So he has to play Seahawks and then I'm pretty sure a crazy good team after that. I think Ravens. So if he wants to have a winning season this year, he needs to beat the Seattle Seahawks. So give me Steelers, Mike Tomlin, Mason Rudolph, Jalen Warren, fuck you George Pickens, to win this game right here and to cover. So give me Steelers +3.5. Let's see, we got Chargers, Broncos. Broncos, big news. Russell Wilson benched. We're going to touch on that here in a second. But Russell Wilson out. Denver favorited -3.5. We saw what the Chargers did to what they did to the Bills. Almost pulling that one off. Bills haven't hit a game winner. So give me Chargers +3.5. And then Bengals, Chiefs. Chiefs -7. Them at home again, taking on the Bengals. Both these teams having bad losses this past week. But Chiefs need to get that bye first round. Give me Chiefs to win out the rest of the season. So Chiefs beat Bengals, sorry. And then we have our Sunday night football matchup. We have Packers taking on the Vikings, Minnesota Vikings. So Minnesota -2 at home. Both 7-8 teams. Vikings awful home record. Packers awful away record. Give me Nick Mullins, Ty Chandler to take this one. Give me Minnesota -2. That's going to do it for our football slate. But we have many new starting quarterbacks. This week we have Russell Wilson benched. Denver benching old Russell Wilson. You hate to see it. But Russell Wilson already has $39 million guaranteed for 2024. But he has an additional $37 million that would become guaranteed if he cannot pass a physical by early March. So Denver's move to bench him right now assures that money won't trigger. So pretty much, if he is hurt and unable to play this next year, come March, he's not able to pass a physical, then $37 million extra dollars will hit for old Russell Wilson. So they want to guarantee that he is healthy. They are signing him to a team, or they are getting rid of him and not having to give him that $37 million guaranteed. Now, will he get this with another place? He will, but with them benching him right now, this gives them the opportunity to save that money because they know that Russell Wilson will not be their franchise quarterback. He is just a placeholder. But Russell Wilson 7th rated passer with 26 touchdown passes and only 8 interceptions. So he has been electric through the air, passing it to Sutton, just having monster games, coming back, them looking very good in the middle of the season. I think they are now 1-3 in their last 4 games. But Russell Wilson getting benched for Stidham. I think that's what it is. Getting benched for Jarrett Stidham. So apparently them coming out, Denver's coming out, and they're like, okay, well, we're 1-3. We want to see a new spark in our offense. We want to see if old Jarrett Stidham can get it done. But we all know that's not the case. We all know that they are trying to not let Russell Wilson get his $37 million guaranteed if he is unable to play. So they are looking to dodge a dart right now. They are looking to dodge that $37 million that they have to guarantee him if he is unable to pass his physical. So this has nothing to do with Russell Wilson and his performance. Obviously the 7th best passer in the league right now. This has everything to do with Broncos not wanting to give him this money if he is hurt, which makes sense. This is business moves right here. But they will not have Jarrett Stidham come in here and be as electric as old Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, top landing spots. We could see him at the Falcons. They've struggled with quarterbacks. They've had Heineke and Desmond Ridder. Giants, they're all over the place. Maybe they could sign him for 1 year, but they have a big contract with Daniel Jones. But them having quarterback struggles with Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. Commanders, they have Jacoby Brissett and them just benching Sam Howell. Patriots benching Mac Jones and putting in Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi definitely not the franchise quarterback. He's doing well though. Steelers going through. I could see him in the Steelers uniform, but Steelers going through Kenny Pickett, on to Mitch Trubisky, and then to Mason Rudolph. Raiders going through Jimmy Garoppolo to Aiden O'Connell. And then Bucks. You got Baker Mayfield. Is Baker Mayfield the starting quarterback there? I think so. I don't think that's really a good one. So give me, I think out of all these teams where we could see Russell Wilson potentially land, I could see him going to Commanders. I could see him going to not Steelers. I feel like they're going to go with Kenny Pickett. That's their guy. Daniel Jones is the Giants guy. I could see Russell Wilson going to the Falcons. I think that is the number one landing spot. I think Falcons or Commanders. Falcons, I don't think they paid their boy Desmond Ridder and Heineke a backup. So I could see Russell Wilson in the Falcons jersey this next year. Or for the Commanders, Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett both haven't been paid those big contracts. So give me Russell Wilson to land on the Falcons or Commanders in this next season. But Commanders, as we talked about, Jacoby Brissett will take that starting QB role over Sam Howell. So he has come in these last 2 games, and he has actually gotten their team within a chance of winning these games. So Brissett looking good. They have a stellar receiving core with Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin. So look to see Commanders do decently well this week. I forgot who they're playing. 49. Oof. So Jacoby, I'm sorry, but you're not going to have too good of a game. And then we have Tyrod Taylor taking on the starting QB role and benching old Tommy Cutlet, Tommy DeVito. He says, when you're up, everybody loves you. But when you're down, everybody hates you. We don't hate you, Tommy DeVito. We don't hate you. Maybe New York hates you, but the people don't hate you. We love what you did. Big dubs, big dubs. Monday night action. For Monday night football this year, there's been 8 games in a row that the underdogs have won. So we got Broncos winning. We got Chiefs winning. We got Bears winning. Bengals winning. Giants winning. Tennessee beating Miami in an electric game. Seahawks winning. And then Baltimore Ravens winning. It's crazy stuff here. We do not have a Monday night football game this week, but I guess Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys were projected to be that Monday night football game. But obviously we know they are playing on Saturday now. But if that Monday tradition carries on into that Saturday game, we have Dallas Cowboys as the favorites. So does that mean the Detroit Lions, the Dogs, take down my Dallas Cowboys? I hope not. But definitely a chance. Teams that have already clinched playoff spots, we have 49ers. We have Baltimore clinching. We have Eagles clinching this last week. And we have Dallas Cowboys already clinching as well. So, stud teams right here. And then going over our teams with at least 10 wins. Let's kind of rank these teams. We have Browns 10-5, looking hot. Looking hot. They've used 4 starting quarterbacks to get to this point. You almost would have think that, hey, the Browns could be undefeated right now if they went with Joe Flacco the whole year. But, hey, all these guys getting them to this point. Got Lamar Jackson sitting at 12-3 with the highest record. Got Lions with Jared Goff at 11-4. Miami 11-4 with Tua. Eagles 11-4 with Jalen Hurts. 49ers 11-4 with Brock Purdy. And Dallas Cowboys 10-5 with Dak Prescott. You'd probably put Ravens obviously at number 1. And then I'd probably put 49ers at 2. Miami at 3. Give me Browns at 4. Eagles at 5. No. Lions at 5. Eagles at 6. Cowboys at 7. Sorry, Dallas Cowboys, but you are in that last spot. But, hey, you have a chance at home to take down, in my head, the number 5 seed right here for those highest teams. So, good stuff right there. We have TJ Hawkinson out for Minnesota. You hate to see it. He suffered a season-ending injury with a torn ACL and MCL versus the Lions. So you hope for a speedy recovery and that we see him in action this next year. And then we have, as we talked about at the beginning, while we were going over bowl games, we have Joe Milton III out, declaring for the draft. And we have Keon Coleman for Florida State declaring for the draft. So he will not be in that bowl game against Georgia either. Adding to another player that might get adding to another player out of that Florida State game. So Florida State could get absolutely decimated. But everybody, that's going to do it for us on our... Oh, shit. Damn. Well, everybody, that's going to do it for us on our Bandwagon Thursday show. This was a long one as well, an hour long, because we had to go over sports in the future. So, we're going to come back Tuesday with probably another long-ass show. We're going to be going over those Thursday night football results. We're going to be going over all the NFL action. We're going to be going over all the bowl games and the college football semifinals results. So hopefully Tuesday we are just thrilled because our Texas Longhorns beat the Washington Huskies. But everybody, I am your host, Cade Navarro. This is Bandwagon Sports. Thank y'all for tuning in. Go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, go follow Bandwagon Sports on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. Slap a follow for everything. That would be much appreciated. But that is going to do it for us in this one. I hope y'all have a blessed day. But this is Bandwagon Sports, and we are signing out.